Hello and welcome back to the CFC Talk podcast. I'm your host, Mohammad Soleja. I'm joined by the usual hosts, Alex and Amart, back on video again. Everyone's back in their places. Chelsea 2, Fulham 0. Not the best of games, not the cleanest of games, I should say. But Kai Havertz, the standout performance with 2 goals and a great win. 3 points keeps the top 4 race alive, closing in the gap against Leicester. Only 2 points behind, and we play them by the end of the season as well. So hopefully a third finish is not bad. But other than that, Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final, 1-1. Not the result any of us would have wanted. But it's going to be a nervous 90 minutes. And as always, Alex, Amart, how you been doing?
Good. Actually, no. Amart, let's see how you're doing. I'm always going first for no reason. So, Amart, how are you doing?
And I'm always talking more than you guys. So,
it's great.
It's 50-50. Okay, so yeah, I mean the game at this point of the season, we are not necessarily expecting beautiful football, or we are focusing more on getting the win, getting the 3 points football, or trying like entertain the fans or something, because there are no fans there even to entertain. So I think this strategy is good. I don't want us to take this kind of thing to next season, because one thing I've noticed is that I think apart from I think what game was it that we scored more than 3? I forgot what it was, but apart from that game. Yeah, Crystal Palace. Apart from that game, like we usually get 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and I'm really hoping that we don't take that to next season, because if we're going to take that to next season, we might get a little bit of problem. So if we score 1 goal, we should still go for the jugular. If we score 2 goals, we still go for the jugular. It looks like we relaxed at like major parts of the game, and it makes the viewing process or the viewing experience kind of boring. But at this point in the season, it's kind of understood. So good performance, good 3 points. And now I think we are 2 points or 3 points behind Leicester City. I'm not sure, but we are closing the gap between them. So that's good.
May I add on? It was an awful start. I'm sorry to say this, but the first 10, 15 minutes, we were just looking lost. And I think you could say it's because Mount was playing as a pivot and he's not used to it, I guess. But realistically, I don't know about what you guys thought, but for me, the first 15, 20 minutes looked like we were getting into this game, and we're ready to accept a loss. And I don't know if that's because we played Real Madrid midweek and we're kind of tired, but it didn't seem like, we were ready into this game. But once Kai Havertz really, when we got really going, and then Silva's pass, whoa, give this guy a 5-year contract. But yeah, Mount's control and that goal was just that was a good sign. You kind of just thought, okay, you know what, we can play this out. Maybe a 1-0, 2-0 game, but we can play it out. And that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, it was good with fun. We did get away with it, but from the first 15, 20 minutes, we were missing, firstly, our default partnership, but also I think it was just a really weird tactical choice by Tuchel. It just was at the end of the day. We went for a really offensive, as well as the actual men, as well as the actual lineup, where they were playing. If you look at the average positions, I'm pretty sure it'll look like a 5-3-2 or even a 5-1, and then just 3, with Gilmour sitting in front of the 5, and then you'll have Mount and Ziyech, I'm pretty sure will be about level on position, and then in front of them, Van Havertz and Ziyech. Wait a second.
I'm opening up the
5-1. Whatever. Basically, I'm trying to say
and everyone else at the top.
5-1 and then 5-1-2-2 or whatever it is. Basically, something like that, where you have Gilmour and then everyone's like Mount and Ziyech are in front of him, and then Werner and Havertz are in front of them. But yeah, there was just a huge gap in the first 15-20 minutes because Mount and Ziyech were basically up to way too high up, and Gilmour lost the ball a couple of times in dangerous areas in the first half because he had no one to pass to. Like, he would get the ball from the defence, and then the Fulham players were on him, and there was no one to his right where there would be a huge amount of space, just no one where you'd normally expect a Jorginho or Kovacic or Kante to be there. So yeah, it was definitely a weird formation for sure. And when like out of possession, it looked like a 5-3-2 with just the usual five: Gilmore, Mount, and Ziyech. Like it was weird to see Ziyech more like in the midfield as well. But yeah, those three in midfield, and then Werner and Havertz up top. So yeah, it was quite an attacking lineup in that sense. But I think the first 15, 20 minutes did show why we kind of missed why Jorginho and Kante are in the team normally. Just a bit more control as well as being good defensively, but being in control with the ball as well. So, but it was all right. We rode out the storm. It took me about 5 attempts to say the word road, but we did it. But yeah, rode it out, got the goals. Great, fantastic performance from Havertz overall. Like he's doing it again. He did it last year where he's performing great at the end of the season. And I think that Havertz is going to be our key man for the end of this season too. And it's quite clear, I think, who's going to start against Real Madrid. And Havertz has got to be in that, and he proved it today, as well as great performances all around from quite a few of the other players too. Like Mount was solid. Mendy, I think Mendy definitely deserves some recognition today because
that save right before halftime.
Yeah.
That kept us in the game.
Yeah, he made a couple of those. Like, I mean, there was one earlier in the first half where I think their right winger hit a volley, and he made a good set. And it was going to Mendy's like bottom right, and he made a decent save to get to that as well. So yeah, just a really good display from him overall. Get to see it to some extent.
No, yeah, I think in defence of Gilmore, he hasn't had much of game time. So I think this was his first appearance in a very long time. I think can't remember the last time he actually featured. So, but yeah, again, just to reiterate what Alex said, you know, Kante and Jorginho are very important to this team. But Tammy Abraham, I'm happy to see him start, even though it wasn't the best of the performances. Or I don't think I can't exactly remember how much time he got. Because no, not start. Sorry, subbed on. Sorry, I was looking at Alex and I just see that face and I'm like, what did I just say wrong? I might mix up Tammy Abraham with someone else. No, him getting subbed on. It was nice to see that. But then again, it kind of just keeps on. We're still on the balance with whether he's going to leave or not. It all depends on Erling Haaland coming in and the situation. I'm not going to say these are rumors, but there's reports or very few people saying Ziyech might want to leave already, which I don't think is going to happen anyway. So the situation with Tammy is a bit of a weird one in my opinion. And tonight I wouldn't say I can't exactly remember how much time he had.
I think it was like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Or something
so
like that.
I don't see him starting against Real Madrid. So maybe the FA Cup final. Maybe that's a very big maybe.
I don't think he'll start in the FA Cup final. If he couldn't start if Tuchel didn't put him in the starting lineup for the game against Fulham, then I don't think he's going to start against Man City FA Cup final. I think with I was about to say ACN, like but it's Tammy Abraham's situation. Like it's a bit sad to be honest. Like the guy is. He's a blue, like he says, he's a Chelsea guy, he's a Chelsea man through and through, and we want to see him succeed. But like you can't really expect much from him if you give him 15 minutes at the end of the game, 5 minutes at the end of the game. At the time when we are concentrating more on defending than attacking, you can't expect him to do anything. And I think even at the very end, he could have got a chance if Werner had given him a pass early. I think that the very end, get to the very end where Werner was tackled right before the penalty box, and yeah, so like it's sad. Like with the Tammy Abraham situation, it's sad, and I don't really see him staying on. If he stays on, I mean, kudos to him. But like if we get a new striker, he's always going to be third because now we have been using Havertz also as a striker, so it's kind of making him fourth now, sort of. If he's being rotated with Giroud. So if Giroud isn't there, he'll become the fourth because if we get a striker, then it will be that striker, then Werner, then Havertz, then him. So for me, like I've said it before, I'll prefer if he doesn't have any future, if Tuchel doesn't have any plans to use him going forward, then for me, he should go somewhere else and prove himself because I know he can. Like he has proved himself in other teams that he was playing in before he came to Chelsea. He was, I think, I don't remember. I think he went to Barnsley, then he went to Aston Villa. I don't remember the team that he went to before Aston Villa, but I think it was
Swansea.
Swansea.
It was actually I think was it Bristol? I think
Bristol. I think it was one of those.
It was Bristol. Yeah,
one of them. Then I think he was a top scorer at Bristol. Was a top scorer at Aston Villa, but he didn't do quite well at Swansea. But I think with Swansea, he didn't get the opportunity. I don't know whether it was a new experience for him or something, but I really believe that if he goes somewhere else, he'll do fantastic. And it's unfortunate because he might become like a Kevin De Bruyne, like a Salah, and then we'll be regretting and stuff like that. So that's the issue. That's the issue with Tammy. But I mean, like,
sorry for the interruption, but just to add on and then to kind of say the way we look at it is this from a Chelsea perspective, and if we look at it, we're thinking about first choice, second choice, third choice striker, but as a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, Tammy Abraham doesn't want to be fourth choice. He doesn't want to be. I guess the best way to put it is to fight for his place after being the top goal scorer for the last 2 seasons, and I think he's still got I think he's still got the most contributions out of the 3 strikers that we've got. So for him to kind of say, I've spent most of my time on the bench this season after being highest goal scorer for Chelsea the last 2 seasons, I don't want to be at this club anymore, in his own personal interest. And yes, as Amart said, Chelsea boy through the academy, and again, it could turn out as Mo Salah or Kevin De Bruyne. And the thing is, we could either wait and see him succeed at Chelsea and take a risk, or we can have someone like Erling Haaland who's already proved himself at Borussia and just buy him out. But then that also means that we're going to be fighting against City, probably Barcelona we're hearing, who might be interested in Haaland. So and then there could be a chance of Lukaku as well. So it's all over the place right now, even before the transfer window starts.
Yeah, but you see, the thing with Haaland is this: like this season alone should teach a lot of Chelsea fans lessons in the fact that we shouldn't expect much from these players, even though they are scoring. And Ziyech was very, very good in Ajax. He came to Chelsea and he hasn't really lived up to expectation. Havertz as well, even though there have been some issues with him too as well. And then Werner too. So like
again, it's just their first season, though, isn't it? In the meantime, while Amart joins back, your thoughts?
He's having a nap. He's having a nap quickly.
Amart's just taking a quick break. So your thoughts on Haaland?
So time to hand out lots of Tammy Abraham slander quickly while he can't hear me. No, I joke. But at the end of the day, like, I'm fine if he does want to leave. It's an awful situation, but at the end of the day, we've got to respect the manager. The guy's come in and Tuchel, and he's just completely changed the fortune of this team around. Yes, it's back to short-termism, but you only achieve long-termism with getting results still in the short term. Even how Sir Alex Ferguson was close to losing his job in the first couple of years. So I know that's kind of a bit of a tangent, but basically I'm trying to say that we have to back Tuchel on this. And if this is another tangent as well, but people will go and say that, we don't want to have another De Bruyne, another Salah. But the main reason I think a lot of that it comes up is because we didn't adequately replace them. We didn't put someone in that position who was better than De Bruyne or Salah. We had Willian and Oscar, basically, and we chose Willian and Oscar over those 2 players. But I just think in this case it is a little bit different because we have young, to be fair, yes, Havertz is not always going to be playing striker, but Werner's only 24, 25 as well. So yes, if Abraham goes and scores 20 goals a season for the rest for a couple of seasons, and Timo Werner flops, then fine. We can say it's the wrong decision, but we have quality players who right now are better than Tammy Abraham, who are as young as Tammy Abraham, or in fact younger than Tammy Abraham in these positions. So I'm quite confident that, like, and even if Tammy Abraham goes, I only think he will go if we do get someone in who will be an adequate replacement for them. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm starting to get a little bit skeptical about us signing a striker, because Haaland is going to be too expensive. I think at the end of the day, after our huge summer outlay last year, and a lot of those signings struggling to find their feet this year. Yes, some of them paid off. Chilwell's doing great. Mendy's doing great. Timo's and Havertz are still they're showing signs, and particularly
I think
Havertz.
37. I don't want to interrupt, but I think they've got a combined 37 contributions of goals and assists this season, plus 7 with Timo Werner. So for the first season, I wouldn't write him. I wouldn't write them off. And I think I said this a few episodes back, but because Werner and Werner and Kai Havertz were like this level, I think whatever team that they played for before, and now because they're performing here, which is almost as good as average, I would say, and maybe not world class what Chelsea needs, they just need to just go back and cover up that for now. Yeah. And I guess you could blame that on first season, COVID, and all of those factors, and hopefully they do improve. But go for your point. Yeah,
that's right. That's a really good point, though. I think the Havertz is I think Havertz particularly. I mean, to be fair, even Werner, yes, we don't think he's doing it at the moment because he's just not finishing and he's just not showing like he's making the good runs and he's doing the right movements, but it's just his final decision making and his shooting have just been not great. But I reckon I still have the faith he's going to make it back up to there. Havertz, on the other hand, I think is showing now that he's almost there. Yes, it's only a couple of games. It's only been 5 or 6 games where he's been absolutely fantastic, but I don't see him like regressing at all now. And he's so young as well. So even if Tammy Abraham goes on to become a star striker, we'll have Kai Havertz, who's younger than him and who is right now a better striker than Tammy Abraham. And will be, I think, even in 5 years' time, I'm pretty sure that, he will be.
No, I agree.
But there's no disrespect to Tammy, because I know that sounded bad, but we can't say, Tammy's making the wrong decision here and it's Tammy's fault. This situation has been put on him by Thomas Tuchel and by Chelsea. We have another striker. Yes, I mean, if Giroud goes, perhaps, I don't think Giroud leaving and no striker coming in is enough to convince him. It needs to be first or second choice. And that means dropping Timo Werner or Kai Havertz below him. And that's just not going to happen. So, if he goes, I just hope we get a boatload of money, preferably from West Ham, because if they're going to overcharge for Rice, then we might as well overcharge for Tammy Abraham as well. I'm thinking 80 million. It's going to be probably around 40, but and unless, get a good fee for him. And at the same time, I mean, that's the thing. If Tammy is going to force a move, then Tammy's going to force a move. We're going to get that money regardless. But I would rather he stays if we're not going to get one of Haaland, Lukaku, or Kane. I don't think any of those 3 are going to happen. I honestly don't think we're going to get a huge, big-name striker this year because they're too expensive. Lukaku is reportedly, according to Fabrizio Romano, who wants to stay. And Harry Kane plays for Tottenham, and Daniel Levy will charge us the small GDP of the whole country to join Chelsea.
Selling.
So there's no way that's going to happen either. And I just don't think that striker, yes, we need someone who's clinical, but I think Kai Havertz might, just having someone else there who is clinical would be a great help, I think. But it's a really difficult problem to solve. There's so many issues around the striker position at Chelsea right now, and I can't just think of a simple answer because there isn't one.
The way you look at it from a Chelsea perspective, or if I'm sitting on the Chelsea board, I kind of think, we've spent. I can't exactly remember, 150 million on Werner and Kai, almost close to that. And on Tammy, we spent nothing. So if we sell Tammy, that's not a profit, or as in he was an academy player. Not doubting any of his abilities or anything, but I'm sure if we were to buy him from any other team, we would have paid almost 40 to 70 million. But I think the way Chelsea look at it is the best way to kind of pay off Werner and Havertz is to sell Tammy Abraham, who's third choice and who doesn't want to be third choice, who wants to be first or second choice. And secondly is use those 2 players for the next 5 to 10 years, hopefully, with Kai, 31, Frank Lampard, maybe. You never know. But yeah, essentially, I think this is the end for Tammy. The last few games, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go off to West Ham or any other team. And if it's a swap with Rice, let's make it happen. I think all three of us would be in for that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would agree. But one last thing
I wouldn't be in for that. I wouldn't want to swap Tammy for Rice. I love
You
Tammy
wouldn't
too
want
much.
to?
I want. No.
yeah,
Oh,
it's a quite mean point.
I mean, if you are swapping Tammy, sorry. I mean, if you're swapping Tammy for Rice, it's kind of disrespectful. Tammy, don't you see?
no, I meant with that. I didn't want to include the money thing on this, but I just wanted to just see if we do, let's say, pay West Ham and give Tammy Abraham and then get a Declan Rice or whatever is the fair deal, as long as it's a swap. There's a swap that's happening as well with it.
I'm quite surprised he's not linked with Liverpool and Man United. I'm not going to lie. And it's that maybe that says something about Tammy, or maybe it's just it's just something that confuses me at the moment. Because there's a lot of teams that need a top striker. So it means two things. Either they don't like Tammy, they don't rate Tammy Abraham as high, and maybe the West Ham is his level for now. But not saying he could definitely improve, of course. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Because City need a striker. Aguero's leaving. United need a striker. They're begging Cavani to come back for next year.
City's in the race for Holland, I think.
City apparently Pep's, or I've heard some stuff.
No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
Fine, but they don't spend lots of money on players either. Their transfer record is 50. To be fair, it's Diaz, isn't it? It's 60 or something.
Yeah.
But they pay the amount of money that players are worth. When was the last big money flop that you saw at City?
Not many. They don't. They do their their homework.
They pay what's right, and I just don't think that they'll think that 150 is right for Haaland. So I don't see him going there.
I feel like Haaland could go for less. Dortmund's not going to take a risk on that unless he renews his contract.
Yeah, I mean he still has the. Yeah, it's true. I think if Chelsea are ever going to go again this season, they try this season, but. We've gone on quite a tangent, but that's
No, I was just going to add on and kind of just say how I think because of Chelsea's priorities being in defense and in midfield, I don't see signing a striker. If anything, we might just tell Tammy that Giroud's kind of leaving at the end of the season, so which is rumored, and I do think that's going to happen. You've kind of got Tammy, Kai, and Werner, and I don't see Kai always playing as a striker role, as you all said. So it's going to be first choice, second choice kind of thing, which he might not agree to, and I don't think he'll be more than happy to agree to. He'll kind of want to be first choice.
I think he'll be okay. Sorry for cutting you off, but no, I think he'll be okay with if it's only him and Werner. I think he'll be. I think the issue was that he had that they were bringing someone else in as a striker. I think that is where the problem started from, or that's what was reported. So I think with him and Werner fighting for that position or being rotated for that position, I think he would be okay with that because that's what he was kind of like facing this season. So
the way I also see
the
way I also see it is maybe if there's a change in formation, maybe we do need two strikers up top. Werner and Kai kind of played up top today. If we see that regularly, then automatically Tammy, or out of the three that we were going to have, two have to start. So Tammy's chances increase. But then again, that's speculating. He's fine with knowing that he'll still be second choice. But unless he performs in those games and he, has an incredible start to the season, I don't think Tuchel would want to drop him just because Werner cost us 75 or 80 million, whatever the price was.
Yeah. I want to counter Amart's point and say, if you think that Tammy would be happy with competing with Werner, so basically how it is now, i.e. there's no additional striker. Say Giroud never existed and it's just Tammy coming off the bench. Do you think he would be happy?
Alex has just wiped off a Sevilla win.
Do you think that Tammy would be happy if he's just coming off the bench all the time. Just like he isn't. Imagine if
I
Giroud
don't
is
think he will.
dusted and it's just him coming off the bench.
Yeah, I don't think he will. If he's coming off the bench all the time, I don't think he
Yeah.
will. But what I'm saying is that if there are only two, Werner will not be playing every game, game in, game out. Like definitely they'll be rotated. Like both him and Werner will be rotated. That's if like I said in the beginning, if that's what Tuchel plans, fine. But I don't think he's in Tuchel's plan. Like they're just using a hypothetical here, but I don't think he's in plan.
Yeah, like it's how it is now. Imagine if Giroud wasn't here, Tammy's minutes wouldn't improve that much. He'd still be just coming off the bench. And what's to say that Werner gets rotated more next year? Is there anything to indicate he'll get rotated? He'll get subbed more? Maybe so if he continues to put in performances where he's not scoring, but he's doing that now and he's not getting benched. So why would he next year? So yeah, I get this. I get your point though. It's like it all comes down to Tuchel's plans. And if I'm Tammy Abraham, I'm going. If I'm honest, yes, you fought this hard to get to this level, but he can crack. He has the potential. I don't deny that he can be fantastic, but I do dispute whether we'll regret it or not, because I do think we still have played. Like, I mean, he's not necessarily just competing with Werner. Havertz is a weird one because he kind of can just be anywhere really. Like, yes, he can play the striker, but it's kind of weird that he's been played there instead of Tammy getting the chance. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, if things are as they are, even if Giroud leaves, Tammy's still just going to be coming off the bench, and for Werner, who's basically undroppable at the moment because of Tuchel. I'm not saying that he's amazing undroppable. I'm just saying Tuchel isn't dropping him. So it's like,
I think the best way to look at this or close this debate would be that, you know, wait a month or month and a half when the transfer window opens, when you kind of see those rumors boiling up about Lukaku, Haaland, Tammy, and then that's when you kind of will get an idea of who's staying, who's leaving, and what Chelsea are going to do. As of now, I guess most of this is just going to be speculations or just going to be comparisons between Werner, Kai, and Tammy and their stats, and that's all you can do, kind of, until you've got reliable sources such as Fabrizio Romano reporting during the summer window. We kind of went on a tangent, guys, but I guess this game was about strikers, as Alex said. But Kai Havertz, his performance, I think the last time we saw Pulisic kind of come back into his prime after Project Restart, and then this year it's Kai Havertz now proving all of us wrong. That's the start for me for Real Madrid, I think. 2 goals and the offside one. I'll count it. Give him a hat trick, offside hat trick. The goal that was disallowed. But yeah, I think he's one guy. He's still got time to kind of improve and get back to the way he was at Leverkusen, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he did very well. Like today, I think today was one of his best performances. Yeah, apart from there was Barnsley, but apart from the game earlier on the season where he scored a hat trick, like today, you could see he was doing very, very well today as well. So yeah, I think today is one of his best performances. The way he took the both goals, like as if, like effortlessly, like that's what I like about Kai, and the way he was playing throughout the game, his passes, the way he was controlling the ball, especially the second goal, that long pass from Chilwell, the way he took it down with his feet and laid it off to Werner, and Werner was also fantastic. Like Werner also did very, very well today. He did the simple stuff, and yeah, I think in the first half he missed a chance or something, like the cross came in from Ziyech, but it was very fast, and Werner didn't reach it. But yeah, his pass to Kai for the second goal was fantastic. So yeah, and Kai also placed it very, very well. Kai is a very good finisher. He's a very, very good finisher. So today he put that on show, and it was a shame that he didn't get a hat trick today. I was really hoping I get a hat trick, but he didn't get it. But I think he did very, very well. The first goal was also fantastic, and the way, I don't know, like the whole thing, the way Mount also took it down and laid it off to him, and he placed in the bottom right corner. It was just beautiful to see. Like when we flow like that, and the build up to the goal was also good and all that. Yeah. It's a fantastic performance from him. I hope he keeps it up so that he starts against. If he starts against Real Madrid, I hope he replicates it.
I think there's no doubt there should be no reason for him not to start.
Yeah, agreed. He's our best finisher at the moment, to be honest. I mean, maybe Giroud's up there. To be fair, it's tough to say because Giroud's also a brilliant finisher. But in terms of 1v1, Havertz, I think, is the best right now. And Werner's probably the worst. Sorry, it's bad to say. No, I shouldn't say
not to speak.
I prefer not to speak. Yeah.
No comments.
God. No disrespect for that was tongue in cheek. But it's great performance from him. To be fair, as Amart said, the pass from Werner to Havertz for the second. If you look at, so there were VAR checks on that goal, and so they drew. Actually, no, I think they only drew the lines once, but the cameras froze twice. There were two passes. I think there was one it was the long ball to Havertz. I can't remember
from Chilwell.
Yeah. And Havertz was as close to level as he possibly have got for the Chilwell long ball. And then when he cuts it back, plays it to Werner, and Werner's pass to Havertz was as onside as possible as well. So it was brilliant, brilliant from all three of Chilwell, Werner, and Havertz. Really, really well worked.
It was a beautifully weighted pass, like the way Werner waited for him to kind of start his run. Havertz started his run, and he waited for him to get in between the defenders before he gave the pass. So it was just beautiful to see.
Yeah, really was. But, I mean, I think Werner, good moments to be fair. I mean, still, it's always the same with Werner, I think, nowadays. His pace is there. And even when he's not shooting, he's not scoring, I find sometimes, yes, he misses.
He's one guy. Sorry for the interruption, but he's one guy who does everything right, and he just gets the final thing wrong. Overall, he's a great player. I'm not going to say that he hasn't had his bad days or bad performances, but whenever he plays, you can see he's trying his best to do whatever he can to give his performance, even if he's working hard for the team or himself. But it's just that at the ending, the ending's not there. I don't want to label him as a Morata yet, but I see a lot of whenever he comes close to the goal and he misses it, and I just think of Morata every time. Hopefully not. Hopefully, after against Real Madrid, proves all of us wrong.
Yes, he could miss it. Sorry. Go on, Mark. You want this? Fine. Okay.
I think the point.
Okay. Reset.
No, there's a lag. That's why it's
okay.
It's there. But you can go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Well, I was going to say the main difference between Morata and Werner is when Morata had a bad day, he didn't really offer anything. When Werner has a bad day, even when he has a bad day, even when he's has an awful performance, his pace is still a distraction for defenders. He can move people out of positions because they've got to go and cover for Werner. They've got to try and get the ball off him. So even if he's extremely unclinical and misses 4 1v1s and an open goal, he can still contribute to the team with his pace. And I know it's quite boring after a while to say the same thing, but I think I say it because I think it's true at the end of the day, and it's pretty clear that's the only reason why he's in the team right now, because he's not. If Tammy had the chance that Werner did and he missed all of them, then he would be on the bench, I think, if he didn't have that pace or he didn't offer anything else. So yeah, that's why he's important at the end of the day. So yeah, go on, Amart, release it all.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's starting ahead of other players because of his pace, mainly because of the things that he adds apart from scoring goals. So I think the thing is that it's most Chelsea fans, we had certain expectations for him, and we saw certain things that he was doing in Leipzig, or he did in Leipzig, because he even finished Leipzig as Leipzig's highest goal scorer. So we were expecting to see goals from him. So this is not what we kind of like bought him for. We bought him in for goals, but the thing is, the most important thing is getting the goals, whether he gets it or not. Like he's providing, he's giving assists, he's doing everything right to get somebody else to score. Because I think right now he doesn't have the confidence to score yet. So there are some instances today where I felt like he could have taken the chances himself, but he sometimes chose to pass it rather than to take the shot. So if he passes it and the person scores, that's good. Like we are still happy. It's still a goal. Whether it comes from Ben, it comes from ZH, whoever it comes from, it's still a goal. But there are some games where we are finding it difficult to score goals, and then he misses chances. That's when we get we get frustrated a lot. Like with the Real Madrid game, we wanted a goal to win the game, but he was missing chances, and then we were getting frustrated, and that's the thing. So yeah, I mean, if as long as he gets those goals, whether it comes from him or somebody else, I think we'll be most fans will be fine. It's just the trolling from other fans is what gets to fans sometimes, because after the Real Madrid game, I saw so many memes, so many funny videos of his misses and stuff like that. That's what gets to fans, and that's what fans want to see eradicated. We want to see him score more goals so that those things will end. Yeah, however he gets it for us is good.
I think the funniest of tweets I still see is people saying, you know, those long tweets, they used all 240 characters and they kind of praise Werner and how he has so much potential and he can come back to his great form. I mean, yes, I agree with that totally. You know, anything's possible. But I guess this is directly aimed at people who kind of just not criticize him at all. And think criticizing him is wrong because it's just for a season. You know, at times you just got to go and not abuse him, but of course you should be more than fine to criticize a player like Werner right now. And I guess again it goes back to the expectations with Werner was a lot higher than what he could deliver. Be it because, you know, it might have been this for a season. It's because of COVID and all that sort of stuff. The same goes with Havertz as well. So, yeah, I'm not going to write him off. But I'm not going to sit here and say that if this continues, then we can just keep saying that he'll be back. I think midway through next season, if he doesn't perform at a high level, at a world class level, we'll kind of have to sit back and say, you know what, we're going to have to look for alternatives. But yeah. Until mid season, he's safe from me. He's going to get my backing before a Kepa starts happening with him. He does a Kepa.
Kepa's doing great right now. To be fair, better save percentage than Mendy this season. I think actually
that's because no one shoots at Mendy. No one shoots at.
Nah, it's because Kepa doesn't concede any goals because he plays against weaker teams, but kept clean sheet against C. Yeah. So
I mean, he's bound to start the FA Cup final. So.
Yeah. Make amends.
Yeah, and I think I wanted to add Billy Gilmore's performance. I think in the first half, I think Alex said in the beginning of the podcast that the first half he was a bit shaky because he hasn't played for a while. So and it looked like Mount was leaving him in the middle most of the time because Mount wanted to push forward. So Mount was leaving him alone in the middle most of the time. But I think the second half he was fantastic. Like he did everything I like about Gilmore. He did that. Like he didn't really overdo anything. Like he got the ball, passed it, and he was winning possession quite well. He was going toe to toe with some of the defenders. They were not really getting past him in the middle there. They were using the wings, but they were not using the middle. And like Gilmore, I just hope Gilmore is used more going forward, especially with Kovacic out. I don't know how long Kovacic will be out for, but like this kind of rotation with Gilmore and Jorginho and Kante, I think it would be good if we see more of it.
I think with the situation with Kovacic and the injuries for Real Madrid, Tuchel wasn't very clear with what was happening. He just said Rudiger should be able to wear a mask and play the game. I could see Alex doing no, yeah, and
I'm going to wear a
With
mask.
Kovacic, he hasn't trained with the team yet, but Tuchel did say that he might train with them the next few days and see how it is. So he's not ruling anything out. I'm not sure if that's a tactical thing again, just because it's Real Madrid, or if he does say it because he truly believes both players can be available. But yeah, against Real Madrid to start 10 defenders, I don't care. It's just that we need to. There's two ways of looking at it. We either start 10 defenders and we defend that away goal, which probably won't happen, or we start every single striker we've got and trying to get a goal in the first 10-20 minutes and then hold off the lead as much as we can. Because Real Madrid will punish us.
Yeah, I just can't imagine being forced to hang on to one away a goal lead when the other team has Eden Hazard, who played very well today in the first half, particularly the second half. He apparently fell a bit flat, but Eden Hazard is getting back to his best, and Karim Benzema is carrying their team as well. So I just can't. It's going to be hell if we have to rely on that one goal lead. So, yeah. We should have we should at least be able to field the strongest going team right now. Whereas in our recent, think back to last year against Bayern Munich, where the absolute shambles of the 11 we fielded in the first leg with, I think, Caballero in goal, Barkley, I think Giroud up top, we've come a long way in 1 year. So, yeah, it's we'll have everyone fit. Yes, Kovacic is out, unfortunately, but still trust the guys to do it to get the result with a balanced team. It's at home. Yeah. Are we putting Fulham aside now? Or
I think we can. 40 minutes is good.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, can't think of anything else to say about Fulham. But, yeah, big game. They have players back too. I think Ramos is back. Mendy, I think Fulham Mendy is a doubt. But yeah, Sergio Ramos is coming back. That's the big thing, I think. And it's going to be really tough and painful. But I think, like we said before, we have it in ourselves. It's definitely not going to be one-sided. Touch wood. I've jinxed that now. Now it's going to be 3-0 to them. No, but we have everything. We have everything in our team that we need. I trust Tuchel to get the tactics right and everything. We have the best chance that we could, really, other than if we could go into this game with a 2-1 win or something. But I'm not worried. Yeah. It's just going to be fun. It's going to be so stressful, but hopefully rewarding.
Sorry.
Go on, Amart. I know there's a lag, but
yeah, there was a lag, so I was waiting.
Both of you just stared at each other like, your turn.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say is that it's not like we didn't get chances against them. We did. We got a lot of chances against them to put the game to bed, but we didn't take those chances. So if those chances come back, I think the way we play, we will definitely get the chances. The chances will come. We will definitely get the chances. We will infiltrate that defense. But I'm just hoping that if those chances come, we take them and we score. That's it. So if we're able to take our chances and we score, I don't think we'll have an issue. Because when we played away, if we had scored 2 or 3 goals, we would have been sitting in a better position now. So we've kind of put ourselves in this kind of situation. So we just have to, when we get the chances, we should score. That's it. I know I've been saying this a lot, but it's something that happens a lot. We get so many chances and we don't score, and it ends up biting us in the back, because we get, sometimes we end up drawing and then stuff like that. So we have to score. We just need to go all out and score. So like you guys are saying, if Havertz seems to be in form, Havertz, Pulisic, if they are fit or they're available, I think they should start.
Yeah, I agree as well.
Sorry, did you say Havertz and who again?
Pulisic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Those two and Mount up top. I don't want to see Mount further back. We need him in attack to. Yeah.
I think Pulisic resting today. Pulisic being rested today meant that he was going to start, and same goes with Kante and Jorginho.
Yeah.
But I do think Rudiger might get a head start ahead of who was it? Silva? No, I don't know. Depending on how bad his injury is and if he can play or not. But yeah, I'd still like to see Reece James and Chilwell at right wing back and left wing back. Actually, I don't think Aspie should start. Hazard might start the whole game, so I don't want to risk it and see him go past Aspie. Let's lock in the defense.
Yeah, I am not like. Sorry, Amart, go on.
No, but I'm just saying that. But are you sure he can go past Aspie? They played for a very very long time. They came into the club around the same time, so probably he knows things about him that we don't know.
I think he's got the pace.
Yeah, but probably he knows. Yeah, okay, you go ahead.
No, I thought you were finishing.
Yeah, I'm just saying that probably he knows something about him that we don't know. Probably Hazard has some technique that he uses that Aspie knows, so he can use that to his advantage or something.
It could be, but I doubt. I mean, realistically, do we see Aspie defending his Hazard for 90 minutes?
I don't think they're going to come up against each other, if I'm honest, because they're going to. I see them going matching up in the back three just as we did, and they played Benzema and Hazard up top. And when Hazard came on, he barely came up on the left flank. He was always through the middle and on the right. So yeah, it's like even still, I'm not sure if I want Aspie to play. I don't want him to play at right wing back though, because we're going to need to attack. And I'm afraid that might happen though, because he got rested today. So maybe he's getting that rest. So he's ready to give a great shift at right wing back. But I just don't want to see any of Vinicius or Hazard against him at right wing back. I'm okay if James is there to help him out. But yeah, to be fair, I shouldn't even be complaining about that. No, defensively, I don't think we have any problems, any worries with Aspie. Maybe yes, pace, maybe, but we didn't really see that in the Real Madrid game, but
or the City game, but I just think we do need to be able to attack a little bit because they're going to go for it. They need a goal. They have to score. If they don't score, they don't go.
I think it can't be a draw. So I don't see both these teams, just going for one goal. They want to kill the game as soon as possible. Sorry for the interruption, but I think the way Chelsea played the first 20 minutes of the Real Madrid game, if we do the same thing again, and if we continue it for the first 30, 35 minutes, get 2 goals, that's the game over. I think that's the best way to win it, because Real Madrid, if we let it be 0-0 by the 30th minute, 45th minute, or first half, Real Madrid is just going to grow into the game, and they're just going to get the goal that they need to go through. And realistically, whoever scores goes through is kind of the situation that we've got right now.
Yeah, exactly. So we just need to take our chances, like I said, and then we we put the game to bed. Then we know that we are qualified to the next round. So yeah. I think that's it. That you just summarized everything. Just need to score, take our chances. Whoever scores first can relax and defend their hearts out. So let's hope we do that.
All right, we'll have 3 left wing backs on the bench, so just throw them all on. Emerson,
last minute goal.
If we need, it's 5 subs. So if we are at the end trying to have, if we're 1-0 up in the 80th minute, I'm absolutely subbing on Emerson because he's the ultimate counter attack. Yeah, so put Emerson on left wing. He's getting it. First touch of the game, he's getting a goal.
If he does score 2 goals, is that more goals than Werner in the Champions League in this season or something like that? I don't know how many Werner has.
Werner scored a penalty, but Werner scored in, I think he's got 3, in the Champions League.
I think he has 3 goals in the Champions League.
Okay. So Werner might be safe.
I think he's got 2 penalties in the Champions League. And I think 1 other goal. Can't quite remember, but yeah. I think he's safe.
Yeah, I think, was it Kai Havertz? Someone's got 2 where, but yeah, whatever it is, if you compare Werner's 3 goals in however many appearances or times that he's on the pitch, and compared to Emerson, who would have come on against Atletico Madrid, 87th minute, scores a goal, comes on against Real Madrid, 87 minutes again, and he scores a goal, that would just be incredible. I think when 10 years down the line, when you have you guys, I'm sure this is probably every Chelsea fans have heard of this, but Against All Odds, the documentary there. Yeah, so imagine 10 years down the line, you're watching that documentary and you just see Gary Neville in the background go, Emerson, and Chelsea are in the back.
Oh man, that would be
and you're just like, you know what? That's worth it. That's the Torres moment. That's the
Torres. Yes, that needs. It is. Emerson to score in the Champions League final. Oh man, imagine the person to win it for us is Emerson. Oh. Cemented in history, built him a statue. No, yeah. But it's gonna be good. Like, we'll remember this game for a long time, regardless of if it's a good one or a bad one. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I'm just waiting for that Emerson moment. That's good. So, Kyle, if you can clip the last minute or so, I know.
We hype the man too much.
On a separate video, please.
What we're trying to say is we want Emerson to come on our podcast. I see Amart he's trying to pretend that he doesn't associate with us Emerson fanboys. He's on a different level.
We're on the Emerson train. Give him another contract.
There's no going back. We're irredeemable.
I got a message on my phone and I was checking here as well.
The weirdest thing out of everything, I think, is when you look back at 2012 and you see, these guys are legends at clubs, Lampard, Terry, Drogba, and then you've got Christensen, Emerson, Alonso.
I guess Christensen.
Okay,
maybe not Christensen. Penitentiary got bigger today.
Yeah.
I think the difference, there was a difference. Like the difference between the 2012 squad and this squad is like this squad is relatively new. Like they've played new. They recently started playing together as a team. But with the 2012 team, most of them have played in the side for a long time, and they've been to. And I think about 60% of them have already been to a Champions League final where they lost to Man United. So they were not going to mess up this time. So they were giants. They were legends. They were big game players, and they brought it up. So if these people can also set something like some form of a legacy for themselves by winning it this season, the ball's in their court. If they want to match up to the greats, the ball's in their court. I'm hoping because the thing is, I'm seeing a little bit of it from Thiago Silva. I think Thiago Silva will see this as his last chance to win it. So probably he's the one that will give them like more kind of morale or some support or some motivation in the dressing room to go and win it, because he wants to win it for, and Giroud as well. Giroud also sees it as his last time to win it. Yeah, and Aspi too. So those guys will be wanting to win it the most. So maybe the youngsters, although they also want to win it, but honestly, they might not want it more like the other ones.
Honestly, I think everyone at Chelsea wants it as bad as anyone else. I think Champions League, as a footballer, you've got two prizes that you essentially want to win, and that's the World Cup and the Champions League. You're the best in the world, you're the best in Europe. So you could argue and say, you know what, Reece James, Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, these guys have come far from the academy. They've won the Youth Cups. I'm not sure exactly if they've all won the UEFA Youth Champions League, but someone coming from a club academy, that's your biggest dream. So I think all of them would want it, and I guess this squad is young and hungry, so you can say, you know what, they might have the different chances, but I think this one's, if we do win, this one's for Silva, for Giroud, for Aspi, and those guys who've been at the club for a long time. I mean, essentially Aspi, who's been running in and out, right wing back and centre back, as if he's getting the. I mean, we could sit here and say this could be his last season, but then we all know next season he's going to turn up uninjured, play 35, 50 games throughout the season and pretend like nothing just happened.
And sign a 3-year contract.
Exactly. It's just an Aspi thing to do.
Yeah.
Great. Would you guys rather face PSG or Man City?
I think Man City. Man City.
PSG.
Why Mohammad first? And then
I would say, okay, Man City, because I think they haven't got the firepower that. I'm not going to write off Guardiola. He's played us in the semi-final. He knows what we did, so he's going to make sure that he takes revenge for that. Even though a Champions League final and a FA Cup semi-final, they're not on the same level, but as a manager, you always want to get ahead of Tuchel and your opponent. But I think they just don't have that firepower that PSG have, because if you see Neymar and Mbappe click, oh my god, I just don't want to imagine 3-0, 4-0 in a Champions League final. And again, it would be nice to see PSG getting knocked out again and not winning the Champions League for another year.
Yeah, but you see, the point you made, if you see Mbappe and Neymar click, and on the other hand, if anytime they don't click, the whole thing just collapse.
Yeah.
So
like City away. Sorry, go.
Actually, I want to change my answer. PSG, because I want Pochettino to lose another Champions League final. That would be.
Oh man!
And then that would mean I would pick PSG just because of the rivalries. Silva winning, Tuchel winning, and Pochettino losing. That would be that's it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't have anything. I don't have anything against Pochettino at all. If it was PSG versus City, I'll always back PSG to win it, because I'll prefer Poch winning it outside of Spurs, because it means that can't you see how it will look? It will look like anything that happens is part of Spurs is bound to fail. But immediately you leave Spurs, you can be successful again. So they will read it. So but I want PSG in the final because of Tuchel. Like, for him to face his previous managers, like they sacked him because of certain issues that he had. To be nice to meet again, and I think he will prove a point. He will want it more this time because it's his former employers, and he would want to stick it to them. So and he knows them better than he knows them better than anybody else. So he was coaching them. He knows more of the players better than anybody else. So he might be able to have remedies to solve an issue, like any issue we have with Mbappe or Neymar or anybody else.
Yeah, I agree with Amart. PSG, because of the rivalries. Because I mean, how funny would it be? Because let's not forget, they sacked Tuchel this season, in the middle of the season. Can you imagine if we came up against Andre Villas-Boas in the Champions League final of 2012? Can you imagine if Andre Villas-Boas beat us after sacking him middle of the season? That's exactly how they'll feel if we did it to them. So that would be just the most ridiculous thing. And plus, because we took their long-serving club captain, we took their manager, and then we beat them. Especially after having a technically easier run into it as well. That would just be very Chelsea of us, I think. But, well, not really easier, but, no, you probably don't. That was probably
any game in the Champions League doesn't get easy.
But it's basically remontada because of Tuchel and Thiago Silva. But I think PSG past their front line, it's like, I think City are the better team overall. But then PSG, if you shut down, like Amart said, you shut down their attack, is there much left behind it to do any damage? And there isn't really. I mean, Gay is not a bad defensive midfielder, but in defense, Kimpembe, I guess, is all right, is decent as well. But we'd rather not face City in the final, particularly if, I mean, to be fair, no, I was going to make a point about getting knocked out by them twice, but that was just wrong because we already beat them in the FA Cup. Sorry, it's late here. But yeah.
It's late there. Let me just check my time. 1 a.m.
Yeah.
No, I'm on the Ramadan schedule, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'll take PSG. Plus, we have old beef with them as well. We came up against them 3 times in that era of 2013 to, I think it was 3 times, or was it 2? It was 3 times. In 2013, 14, 15, and 15, 16. Was it
Yeah, we met them.
consecutive
We
years?
met them. We met them once when David Luiz was there. Then we met them the other 2 times when David Luiz came back to Chelsea.
And we
So
still
he was at
lost.
Chelsea.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think he was at
No,
Chelsea.
I
He was
feel
at
like
Chelsea
there was
for
twice.
the other 2. He was at Chelsea for the other 2. I think the first one he was there.
Yeah. The first one where he was there.
The one that he scored and he was celebrating. That was the first time.
I think that was the last one, because David Luiz came back in 2016. So
the one that I remember is that David Luiz was playing for Chelsea, and there was this meme. Remember Cavani nutmegging him and then scoring a goal?
Yeah.
There was the meme
that was the first one.
That was one of them that I remember. The other 2 was...
Okay, yeah, that was the first one.
We beat them in 2013-14 with the Demba Ba scoring the winner, or the goal to send us through. And then the 2 years after, we lost, I think. And in one of those 2, so 14-15 or 15-16 was when David Luiz celebrated scoring against us. It would be nice to beat them as well.
And now he doesn't even play in the Europa League.
Oh man, don't diss it. We're gonna come up against Arsenal and lose. We just it's always a thing. No matter where they are in the league, they just decide that they're gonna play good.
Go up for that one game.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, it's kind of a break. The Arsenal game in a couple of weeks is kind of a break from all the other better playing teams at the moment. And we're playing Villa, City, Leicester. I think we're playing Leicester again.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, right after Leicester. So after the FA Cup.
Yeah, and we finished with Villa. I can't remember what other games are. But yeah, we have So
Man City is one of them as well, I think.
Yeah, it's Man City, Leicester, Aston Villa, and Arsenal. So
that's four.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But yeah, that's our break. But we'll get onto that on another podcast.
Yeah.
Now it's just Real Madrid. That's the only one that matters.
Tough game, but I think completely possible. Anything you guys want to add on? Any more moments? Gary Neville moments? Peter Drury might want to commentary. Who's the referee for the semi-final?
I don't know.
I don't think it's been decided yet. Okay, decided yet.
Okay, as long as it's no one who has a thing against Chelsea.
It's not an English. It's not allowed to be an English referee, so
it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. Good.
Okay. I think that's all for the episode, guys.
I think today we've done 2 hours.
Yeah, we might have gone a bit over time, but that's fine. It's a semi-final. We were all getting excited by the Emerson moment. I think that's the best one for tonight. That highlights the whole episode. But yeah, so Alex and I are jumping on the Emerson train. 5-year contract if he scores in a semi-final and the final.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give him a contract.
If he scores the semi-final and takes it to the final, I'll jump on as well.
That sounds amazing. All right. That's all for the episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, rating, subscribe. It would mean a lot if you could like this podcast. What are we aiming for? 10 likes, hopefully, guys. We got 10 on the last one. We hoped for 10. Let's try and get 10 again for this one, if we do. And also, a lot of new updates coming up for the website, graphics and everything as we head into next season, so stay tuned for that. And follow all of our social media pages as well, because we're going to be doing a giveaway soon. I'm going to try and arrange something for Chelsea fans and fans who've been supporting for a long time. We'll try and give away a few retro jerseys worldwide, so if you're not following us, make sure to do so, and we'll add you to the giveaway. That's us for tonight. Thank you guys for listening in, and we'll see you next time.